Hello, fabulous superstar Aquarius. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of September 2023. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. Boy, is this a very special time. The 15th of the month features this month's new moon. This new moon takes place in a part of the sky for you that has to do with profound change, profound truth, a sense of emotional honesty. It has to do with your understanding of wealth, spiritual, emotional, but financial as well. It has to do with your ability to access resources, financial institutions like grants, loans, bursaries, credit cards, insurance payments, tax returns. You can see here that this part of the sky can feel deeply consequential. On the one hand, it is personal, but on the other, it has to do with you feeling well supported by a generous universe, whether that's through people and your emotions, or whether that is in terms of your well-being financially. So this part of the sky is lit up in beautiful ways now, which is very good news to give you. It is part of a larger configuration that is somewhat rare, called a kite configuration, a major celestial conversation in the sky. On the one hand, we get Jupiter and Uranus speaking in supreme harmony with this new moon. On the other hand, we get Pluto speaking in supreme harmony. Neptune is across the sky, though, and that can be a little tricky. Having a new moon and Neptune opposite each other, both in financial parts of the sky, does suggest a need for some balance in terms of spending and earning and understanding of prosperity, but also grounding that understanding, figuring out what's worth the money and what isn't. Sometimes with this, there's a need for compromise as well. And that compromise could involve what it is that you're accessing the funding for, figuring out if it's worth it, or it could be more related to you making an investment and figuring out whether or not that investment is worth it at this time as well. Now, the great thing is that we do get Mercury in this same part of the sky going direct on the same day as that new moon. And so I do think there are fresh perspectives, new ideas, new opportunities all around that could find you at this time. And overall, this does look like an energy of prosperity. And that is something that you can stay open to emotionally, spiritually, but practically, financially as well. Now, navigating further, it is on the 29th of the month that we are going to have this month's full moon. The full moon takes place in a communicative part of your sky, having to do with siblings, cousins, neighbors, but it's also about synchronicity, which is being in the right place at the right time, meeting the right person, having the right moment. It has to do with you engaging the world of ideas and wanting to connect with more people on that level of ideas as well. And so this can be quite powerful in how it literally expands your mind. But here's the thing, the full moon is going to be close in the sky to Chiron. Even if a moment has you feeling vulnerable or exposed or uncertain, ultimately, chances are it won't be of great consequence, meaning that it won't affect your life in a way that feels negative, but rather this is about helping you to understand on a mind level your vulnerabilities, what it is that feels right for you, safe for you to share, and you don't need to justify that to anyone. Now, also possible here is developments with a sibling, cousin, or neighbor. It may be just what's happening with them in their life. That's the most obvious scenario. It could have to do with your connection with them, but it does look like as a result of changes taking place there, either you are feeling vulnerable or uncertain, or maybe it's just them that is in a process of healing in some way. Now, the great thing is with a full moon is full moons bring with them culmination. They bring with them conclusion. And so if there's been challenges with a sibling or cousin, this can be where they come to a conclusion. And that can be very meaningful and heartwarming to see meaningful healing take place for them. However, this can also be A neighbor leaving at this time and not knowing who's going to come in could be part of the vulnerability now. So just pace yourself, be yourself, as I like to say, and stay true to whatever it is that feels right for you to do, especially what feels right for you to share. Where it comes to matters of love, well, that is the very big news at this time because Venus retrograde. That's why, yes, we have the last full month of Venus retrograde season. It is going to be the third of the month that Venus officially goes direct. So as we begin the month, Venus is at the height of her power, magnified in her energy, but also Venus has returned to where she was, going all the way back to the last week of June. So whatever's happening now may in some way hearken to what was taking place for you back then. Now, having said that, it is this moment that helps highlight, magnify a depth of appreciation and understanding within you as to what partnership is to be, what partnerships are right. And it can also be at this time that you get more clear about your feelings related in love to another one-on-one alignment in particular. For all that, though, it is at the end of the month. That is the big turning point. There is a moment of truth and clarity set to take place, and it changes everything. And that happens under the light of the full moon. In fact, just a couple of hours after we get the perfection of the full moon, Venus and Uranus will connect with precision. And that is a wild card of an energy. It is also a key characteristic of the larger Venus retrograde season. That's the third and final time that these planets will connect in this way. And it is going to be next month that Venus will leave shadow, will move on from your opposite sign. And so we're in the final stretch here, but right as we're getting to the end and as we get to the end of the month, wow, that full moon already is about information that heightens emotion. Then you add to it this wild card unexpected factor. Well, you can see here that part of that synchronicity may be the information you come across being a love-related surprise, and then figuring out what you want to do with it, and what is yours to do with it, and what is not yours to do with it as well. So for those of you open to meeting someone new, what a remarkable time this can be. I think connecting with someone new with a month like this seems very possible. Whatever you think it is, if you're connecting with them in the first part of the month, chances are they'll really surprise you in some way towards the end of the month. Romantic surprises do not go as planned, so do be mindful of that. But for all that, there's something honest about what comes forward at that time, and you get to decide what it is you are going to do about it. Now, it is also the energy at the beginning of the month that helps you to understand more personally where you are in love and why and how you feel about it, as part of making peace with where you are, and also to appreciate the options available to you in the context of love and what you choose to pursue. For those of you just starting to date someone, what a remarkable time this can be. In the context of dating, well, this is a moment of truth that is set to find you, especially at the end of the month. Powerful energies playing out there, and it is about getting clear about whether or not this is someone to navigate forward with. The energy at the end of the month is very all or nothing, without a doubt. And that all could be realizing that this is someone you want to move forward in partnership with. Things could accelerate, become very emotionally connected very quickly. However, if it is that you see this is not someone to navigate forward with, there's an impatience with you at this time as you see some truth in them and in an instant go a different way. And for those of you in an established bond, what a remarkable time this can be in the context of established bonds. If it is that you have spent this time of Venus retrograde and it hasn't spoken to your relationship at all, then the things that are happening this month likely won't speak to what's happening in your partnership as well. And so things can continue feeling harmonious and easy. However, if it is that it's been a roller coaster, Or if it is that you have felt for a while that maybe you're not in the right relationship for you, I think you get a real burst of clarity and understanding for yourself late in the month. That is an all or nothing turning point moment. You see some truth, and either you make peace with it, either you realize that you are seeing things all wrong and you forgive it, or it is that now you're ready to go in a whole other direction. There really is not a lot of middle ground at this time. Now, I do want to add another layer to the things that I mentioned here. Venus retrograde can connect you to the past and loves of the past. And so some of the energies this month may play out in terms of clarity or insight or contact with someone related to perhaps someone you were partnered with in the past. Not necessarily the easiest energies now as you see things differently, more honestly, more truthfully, but ultimately this sky is meant to help you get honest about what was so that it can free you from it and you can move to your future towards greater love than you knew before. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It's a valuable and meaningful astrological moment. Look, I'm going to say that new moon energy in the middle of the month, that is an energy of transformation and wealth as well. It is about you seeing and feeling and recognizing that you are well supported by a kind and loving universe emotionally, but also you'll have an uncanny way of attracting the resources, the finances you need. That commission payment you were waiting on comes through. That sense of the rewriting of the mortgage and your rates going down, that could come through at this time as well. So believe in that support, knowing that everything you need is provided. When we have such strong financial energy, the money you need is there. Sometimes you may have to do a little bit more to have it show up for you as part of learning your spiritual lessons, but I don't think they're going to be too much of a pull, but rather there is a flow at this time, helping you to connect with everything and the abundance available to you now. Well, thank you so much for watching. September 1st is my 17-year anniversary as a full-time astrologer. And every year I have a 24-hour biggest sale of the year over on my website, NadiyaShah.com. Make sure you're following me on social media. Every 6 hours, we launch incredible once-a-year discounts. I hope you absolutely love them. And thank you for your love and support all these years. Now, if you want to know and you want to get a video just like this one each and every week for each and every sign, log on to NadiyaShahSuperstars.com, where you get expanded exclusive video scopes for all signs for as low as just $3 a month with Choose Your Membership rate. Higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Links are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.